Hello everyone, we are back with the Russia series and we have the long-awaited A-type long antenna. So we're going to start the long antennas. This is probably one of the more gate-kept ones, although over the years I feel like, well, over the months, years, it's kind of been like more known about, I'd say. So yeah, I'm just probably fine with making this video here. So what is A-type long? Well, it's kind of like A-type short, but it's just with long antenna, right? So if we go into this lock here, we look down here, you can see that the little notch here is on the right side, kind of like it is in short antenna. But here's the thing. There is A-type long, and then there's CA-type long. And CA-type long is just like this, but the notch is much less noticeable, like it's much smaller. And guys, unfortunately, this is one where like it's very ambiguous. Sometimes you're going to look at it and say, I can't tell if that's A or CA. And if that happens, just use your best judgment, and that's all you can do, okay? But don't come out of this video thinking, oh my God, I can definitely, definitively say this is A versus this is CA. No, it's much more ambiguous than that. Here, I think it is kind of clearly A, I would say. Like this notch is pretty big here. But if we look at some CA locks, let's take a look right here. So we'll turn on CA. You can see CA is everywhere, while A-type isn't. So let's just go here maybe, just a random road. And you'll see here, you do have the notch on the right side. It is quite small. I'd say this is definitively CA mostly. But just keep in mind that this stuff is not very definitive at all. And so you have to be really, really careful with this antenna type. But back to A, if you can definitively say, yes, it is A, here are some landscape tips you can use here. So first we have Corellia, the Corellia cluster here. Obviously a lot of sand, very northern looking, a lot of like cold climate, pines and stuff, kind of looks like Estonia. Yeah, so that's what Corellia looks like, and as you can see here, it is clearly A-type, I'd say. Pretty big notch there, right? And yeah, that's the Corellia cluster, just everything you've seen before in Corellia, just with this antenna type, so it is there. And guys, this is the most common cluster right here. It's the St. Petersburg cluster, and it kind of extends a little far east here, just in this whole state it looks like. And the definitive thing here is there's a lot of dirt roads. And actually, wow, I just clicked on a non-dirt road. This is kind of crazy. I almost never click St. Petersburg unless it's on a dirt road. I swear most of this is dirt roads. Okay, that's not a dirt road. That is a small road, so maybe I would click there, but it isn't a dirt road. This is a dirt road. But yeah, you get a lot of these kind of rounds, guys. Like, you look at this round, you say, okay, it's a dirt road. It's clearly A. I'd say that's pretty clear right there. Like, it's a pretty big notch right there, or a ridge, whatever it is. And you just click St. Petersburg, right? So probably works most of the time. Again, use your best judgment. If it doesn't look right, it doesn't look right. But I think it generally works. And yeah, it's the St. Petersburg cluster. It's by far the most common. So if you see a dirt road, it's pretty solid to just click on that. All right, guys, next clusters we have here are these clusters right here. So there's the Tula cluster, the Bryansk, and Belgorod. These clusters, you just need to remember they're all fall coverage, okay? And yeah, these will probably overlap in other videos. We'll probably even go through these again at some point, but yeah, as you can see, it's autumn coverage. You got a lot of yellow leaves and stuff like that, right? You can see it's A-type here. And I don't know, Bryansk is known for a lot of like a little bit of hilliness and like a lot of straight roads, I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering correctly. I think it's often pretty cloudy too. But yeah, I don't have too much to say. This is a really hard like 50-50 between these three areas. So I don't have too much to say overall. You also have Belgorod, which I'll say is a little bit hillier than Bryansk. It also usually has a tilted left antenna. So if I actually look at tilted left, let me see. Tilted right, tilted left. Look at that. Belgorod has a lot of that. And it kind of looks like the A-type stuff actually might be different, so maybe ignore that. But I'd say the coverage is still very similar anyway. So if you see kind of a hilly landscape with, A-type antenna, and definitely if it's tilted left, I'd probably consider Belgorod. But yeah, again, these clusters are difficult. I would just say try to get vibes for them, and if it's fall coverage, just use your best judgment. Tula is also pretty hilly, probably more than Bryansk, I think. I'm pretty sure that's correct. Yeah, as you can see, it's also autumn coverage. Don't really have too much to say about it. I personally struggle with this a lot, and I think even pro-Russia players do. Also, what is this antenna, by the way? Can we talk about that? I mean, I would not be able to get A from that. I think I'd say that's CA. So yeah, there are some examples right there even of A-type not being very clear. So yeah, but that's those clusters. You do need to know about them. It's pretty hard to differentiate them. All right, and next we have, or actually kind of last, basically, we just have, all this random stuff, which I'm not really going to go over. And then we have this road here. So from what I've seen of this road, and I kind of cover tricked it fairly quickly, but south of Velsk, it seems to drive south. And then up here, it generally drives north, is what I've noticed. But we'll look at the road itself. I would say it looks kind of like Corellia a bit in the sandiness. It also looks like Vologda, where it has like kind of a gap between the road and the trees, I would say. And, as I said, this is driving south. It's on a major road, and it is A-type. I'd say that's pretty clearly A-type there as well. So you can kind of get it off that and then just use road angle, right? And just remember it goes, south towards Vologda from Velsk. So just remember that. And then here, we'll take a look at this part of the road. You can see the road quality hasn't changed. It's still very good. It's just driving north this time. Clouds seem to be changing as well. It seems to be mostly partly cloudy, though, along the road. And it's A-type, of course. Up here, looks like it's a little more partly cloudy. Like, this area was more just straight up cloudy, I guess you could say. And if we look here, yeah, still driving northwest. This one's at a northwest angle, though, and almost more west, really. Also, we have thicker lines here, I guess. So, yep. That's these roads, basically. And, yeah, pretty solid there. All right, guys, and just a fun little last note here. So, I just wanted to do a bit of a meme meta for the end here. So you'll see that there's these little bits here, and they're honestly pretty impossible most of the time, I feel like. Except this one. You actually can get Kurgan, kind of, but specifically like the eastern part of Kurgan. So the funny little story is, I was in a duel one time and I was winning by a lot. And I think it was like 2x multis or something. It wasn't like super high. But yeah, I did a lot of damage pre-multis. And all of a sudden we get this lock. Now look here. So we have A-type antenna. It's on a dirt road. And I sent a smile emoji. I think it was against Barladuck. And I just slammed St. Petersburg and I was like, it's over, I win. Because Barladuck was sent a cry emoji. Now Barladuck goes Chelyabinsk. And I go St. Petersburg. It's 2x and it actually kills me. And if we look, it actually was Kurgan and he sent Chelyabinsk, so it was very, very close. And I remember this tilted me so much. This is one of the most tilting games ever, I think. And then I send it to Russia Court and they say, Kurgan smudge. And it's this right here, this little smudge to the, what is this, northwest of the car. And yeah, you can actually see that in this right here. Well, that was weird. But yeah, if we look like right here, East Kurgan, you can actually see the smudge right here as well. And I don't know, it'll probably never come up in your guys' games, but let me know in the comments if it does. You might as well learn all you can, I guess. But yeah, Kurgan smudge, hooray. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna ramp up the series. I've still been sick with the tick disease thing, but trying to make the best of it and trying to upload a little bit more. So yeah, but thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, like, subscribe, and everything, and peace.